В интернете в последнее время говорят все чаще на YouTube-блогах и в Инстаграме о том, что в ближайшее время, в ближайшие 2-3 года есть много мнений о том, что будет финансовый кризис финансовый. Мне интересно ваше мнение. Команды «Богатые женщины», Ким Кийосаки. Считаете ли вы, что в ближайшие 2-3 года финансовая система в мире может как-то сильно измениться?
So, it's not just a Russia issue, it's not just a Europe issue, it's a global issue. Mm. So in the US, you have a thing called Social Security. So all workers pay in every month to Social Security, and when they retire, the government gives them that money back. Mm. Social Security is broke. Pensions, where workers, government workers, teachers, some corporations, but mostly government, they expect a retirement account. They expect a retirement pension. Pensions are going broke. Mm. Cities in the U.S. are going bankrupt. Mm. So the entire financial structure of the U.S., even though they say on TV everything's great and the economy's great and it's growing and employment unemployment is reducing and all this great things happening, the foundation is crumbling. Mm. So do we see a financial crisis? Yes, we see a big financial crisis coming, and it will be global.
Вы думаете, это будет в ближайшие, скорее, 5 лет или это 10-20 лет?
That's a really good question, because we thought it would be sooner, but then what the government started doing was this thing called quantitative easing. So they started printing a lot of money. Mm. Had they not done that, because that propped up the economy, that propped up the stock market, had they not done the printing of the money, we think that the economy would have crashed a long time ago, like around 2016 or so. But because they kept propping it up, it continued to grow, or looked like it was growing. It was a facade. Right now, interest rates are very low. They can't reduce interest rates much more. They're going to print more money to keep propping it up. All they can do right now is prop it up. I don't see any fundamental difference that they're going to implement. Could they? If they started spending their money on things that made sense, on projects in the U.S. that made sense, yeah, that could work, but I don't think our government is going to do that.
Yeah, so all we can do, we watch and continue to gain knowledge and see what they're going to do, what choices, and continue to educate ourselves so we can take care of us and not rely on the government or Social Security or pensions. Just keep watching and learning.
And really just not living in a fear. So we know something's going to happen. We can't predict exactly when it's going to happen. So we're educating ourselves, preparing, and trying to be happy and live a meaningful life without living in a fear that's almost paralyzing.
And that's the point, is you got to prepare. You got to prepare. So we see it coming. And most people want to stick their head in the sand and say, no, everything's going to be fine. You got to prepare. So what we do to prepare is we invest in what we call real assets. Okay, I don't see currency as a real asset because they keep printing it. Here in Russia, your exchange rate is like now $1 to 66 rubles, right? And not too long ago, 4 years ago, it was half of that. So the real assets that we see are tangible assets: gold, precious metals, gold, silver. They're tangible. It's real money. So I put my money into gold and silver, not cash, not currency. Real estate. I can touch it, I can feel it. Oil and gas, things that are real. That's where we're investing.
Yeah, things that you can exchange or sell later down the road.
То есть вы не инвестируете деньги в цветную бумагу, которую люди называют деньгами?
I do not invest in money. I don't invest in the stock market because I have no control. There's a lot of manipulation in the stock market. Again, we go back to real assets, and like Lisa said, something that you can exchange. So we have a friend, and he's buying forests. He's buying timber. And if a crash happens, he has trees that he can cut down and sell the wood, because you're going to need wood for fire and fuel and housing and things like that. So real tangible assets that people are going to need. When a crash happens, we don't know what's going to happen with the banks. Are the banks going to freeze? Are they going to shut down? So we don't keep money. We do our best not to keep a lot of money in the banks, not keep safe things, not keep valuables in banks, but real tangible assets.
Right. And just continuing to prepare it that way. We were just talking, you don't have to do it all at once. So, every time you get paid, to put a little bit towards something tangible. So, buying some silver and gold once a month, every other month, and just slowly start to pile that up.
Great. Another one. Второй вопрос будет звучать так. В российских семьях принято столетиями, что мужчина занимает главную финансовую роль в семье. И поэтому финансы и деньги, в целом, экономия, не женское дело. Но мне кажется, в наш век оба члена семьи должны владеть как минимум базовым финансовым образованием. И, как мне кажется, в школах этому должны обучать даже не на уровне родителей, а на уровне школы. Если бы вы были бы президентами России, что бы вы сделали, чтобы повлиять на эту ситуацию?
Oh, well, first we'd put women in charge everywhere. That would be the first step.
But I do like how you asked if all of us were the president of Russia. That means we're a team.
There we go. We're a team.
Like team,
Very
like
nice.
a team, yes.
Very good.
Not only one.
Yes. It's the same all over the world. Is women, not only are we not educated or expected to know much about money, we're actually taught to depend upon a husband or a family member, the government, for our financial well-being. And what happens, especially for women as we get older, let's say she's married and there's a divorce, or he passes away. What happens for women if they have no financial education, and they have to have at least the basics, but we take them beyond the basics. But if they don't have the basics, he passes away, she has no idea what she's got, she doesn't know where it is. Mr. and Mrs. Financial Planner, helper, advisor comes along, and the next thing you know, she's broke. So that alone is just one example. But women, really, in our opinions, they have got to take control of their financial lives, because we all work really, really hard for our money. And to allow somebody just to, even somebody that you trust, to manage it and take it over, you could find yourself in a financial crisis.
I think a lot of times, if a woman is in charge of her own money, or even is educated about her money, it's considered disrespectful to her husband. And I think the opposite is actually the case, that having that education and learning that vocabulary and understanding your money and being responsible for your money actually makes you a better partner.
And more confident.
And more confident.
And more confident.
My husband makes money and takes care of the house, but I also do the same. So it's a joint thing, and I absolutely, I think I respect him more because he doesn't have to. I know I can take care of myself, and so now I'm able to let him take care of me, and it's a good partnership.
I think it would be a relief for men. I really do. I think it would be a relief for the husbands to know that she can take care of herself, that he doesn't have to take care of everybody and have that big responsibility, that they're a team and they do this together, and they learn about money together, and they learn about investing together. They learn about how to grow their money together. I mean, that's your ultimate team, as husband and wife.
And I think that's changed over the years. I think if we look back in society, like in my grandparents' era, my grandfather did work and my grandmother stayed home and took care of the kids and cooked and cleaned and all that. But as the world started changing and growing and inflation started happening and things started costing more, then all of a sudden the women are going out to work. And nowadays I think women are becoming more educated about money because they are working, handling some of their own finances. We just need to get the message out there about more financial education.
And we've got to start teaching our young girls and women about money early on. I don't know if that'll ever change in terms of the roles that we put boys and girls into. I won't go into the big study, but there's a lot of studies, and girls are still taught to be Cinderellas and look for their Prince Charming, and Prince Charming is going to come sweep them off their feet and take care of them. It's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. It's not how it works. There's got to be a reality, and money has the power to enslave somebody. So for a lot of women, they marry for money, they marry men for money. It enslaves them. Money is a very controlling and psychotic subject. And so if a woman marries for money, to me, her self-esteem, she's basically selling herself for security. but money also has the ability to set you free. So the four of us are all about women being financially free. I don't think a woman can be totally free unless she's also financially free.
And that doesn't mean that you can't have a man.
No.
At all.
Yeah. It's ideally you do this together, you grow together. We're not saying be separate and
You're with them because you want to be with them, not
Yeah.
because you're depending on them.
exactly.
And it's much easier to accomplish your goals and your dreams and stay focused in the future if both of you are on the same page versus, like Kim, you all said, being dependent on one person to have the knowledge about the finances. If you both come together as a unit and then educate your kids, if you've got kids and your grandkids, then, you know, the synergy between that just makes a great future.
Yeah. And you know, there's one other point is some men do like to control, and they use money to control. So I do know women who get very excited about starting to take charge of their money. They want to find out what they have. They want to start learning how to manage it and how to grow it. And he gets very threatened. It's like, what do you mean? You don't trust me? What you don't think I'm doing the right thing with our money? And so sometimes you're walking on eggshells sometimes. But the conversation I think that needs to be had is if a husband and wife truly love and care about each other, then he has to know that if something happens to him, is she going to be okay? And for that reason alone, I think that there should be at least the basics of financial education in the home. And teach your kids. I mean, they teach their kids all the time.
Yeah, they've been playing the cash flow game since they were little. And I'll walk in the house sometimes and they're teenagers and they have their friends there and they're playing cash flow.
Which is our game on money and investing that we have called cash flow.
Yeah.
And I've been giving silver coins to my grandkids since I started investing in silver. I'm like, you're going to know somehow.
Это отличный подарок.
Yeah.
It's a great present.
What was that?
Great present.
Yeah.
So this our final quote from an actress named Katharine Hepburn. She said, women, if you're given a choice between money and sex appeal, take the money. Because as you get older, your money becomes your sex appeal.
Great. Слушай, это прям для трейлера будет. It's really good for the video.
Good expression.
Very good. Thank you. Я знаком с вами через книги уже более 10 лет. Но последние 3 дня мы познакомились лично. И насколько я понимаю, стратегия команды Rich Woman в том, чтобы работать на себя, создавать активы и иметь много свободного времени, чтобы жить на полную. Существует ли, как вы думаете, какая-то другая стратегия, помимо вашей, которая может сделать женщину успешной и счастливой? В ближайшие 10-20 лет, учитывая, что мы живем вот в текущем мире. Есть ли другой способ, помимо того, чтобы работать на себя и инвестировать, чтобы быть финансово успешной в реалиях нашего мира? So, not invest and not do business.
Not invest.
Not invest, not to be business.
Oh.
Is it possible?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Warren Buffett said there are many ways to financial heaven. Okay. So our formula is we build businesses, and the cash flow from our businesses buys our assets, our investments. Can you become very wealthy today without investing? Yes. I mean, you could be Mark Zuckerberg and build a mega business. Can you do it without business and without investing?
It'd be pretty
I don't
creative.
know. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know how I would. I mean, I think every single person has to be an investor today. I do. I think everybody has to be an investor, and not turning your money over to a financial planner to put into a retirement account and buy mutual funds. We're talking about being an active investor, where you're actively buying real estate, investing in businesses, maybe involved in commodities, gold, oil, gas, gold, silver, things like that. Actively handling all your investments. That's how we did it. I don't know how you would do it. I don't know how I would do it without business and investing, because there's 4 asset classes. There's business, There's real estate, paper, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, commodities, gold, silver, oil and gas, soybeans, coffee. So you got to figure out which speaks to you, which asset class speaks to you, and which one you're interested in. Because if you're not interested, you're not going to take the time to learn it and study it and actually take action to do something. But my opinion, you have to be an investor today to become financially secure, if not independent. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know how you do it without.
Но можете ли вы, не делая бизнес, быть только инвестором и получать доход откуда-то еще и все-таки стать успешным? Just an investor.
Just an invest.
Is it possible?
Not doing this. Is it possible or not?
I think so, because when I was, an employee in that E quadrant of employee working for somebody else, I was still taking the money that I was earning from my paycheck and investing with that. So I don't know if you have to own your own business in order to invest, but you have to be very disciplined with your money. You have to know how to manage your money and what to do with your money if you're getting a paycheck.
There's a lot of very famous investors. I would say they're also business people, though, because they've turned their investments into businesses. I mean, you've got Warren Buffett, you've got Jim Rogers, you've got I could name a whole slew of them who are primarily investors, but they've also made a business out of investing. But to Rhonda's point, as an employee, sure, you could invest, you can buy real estate, you could buy stocks and bonds, and the difference is the mindset. Okay, so the mindset of an employee, typically they want security, they want guarantees. Okay, they don't want to make mistakes, so they want safety and security. They want the benefits. So if they take that mindset into investing, they're probably going to invest in very, very, very small, low-risk investments that are not going to make them a lot of money. And not that the investments are risky. The more education, the more knowledge and experience you have, the less risky the investments become. You were going to say?
Yeah, I have a friend who, he loved his job, loved it. But he would take his money and he would go buy apartments and rent them out. So when he was ready to leave his job, he had income still coming in even though he wasn't working. So yeah, you can invest working and then decide what you're going to do with it, but it goes back to knowledge.
Yeah. I think the more you become involved in investments, the easier it is to jump out of being an employee and jump into business. It's kind of addicting when you start investing and start learning and you start growing that vocabulary, then you want to do more.
And I'm going to say one thing because I'm sure somebody's thinking it out there. Oh yeah, there's another way you can get wealthy without business and without investing. You could marry a rich man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it.
Or get rich yourself and then marry the rich man.
Yeah. Do not, please don't marry for money. It is the killer of spirit and creativity, and it'll suck the soul right out of you. Don't do it.
Okay.
So business
It's a great advice.
and investing, for us, it works. If there's other ways to do it, I'm sure there are, but we have to do what works for us, and that's what works for us.
Thank you. Все?
Okay?
May I change?
All right.